Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Depressing World podcast.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Okay, so as you can probably tell, my voice has gotten a little bit worse because, yay, more mucus and stuff stuck in my throat. I nearly vomited this morning. This is going to be a little bit much detail, so if you don't want to listen to this, just skip the next 20-25 seconds. But I was coughing, something came up and it wouldn't come out, so I ended up gagging about 15 times before eventually I vomited it up, and it was a huge amount of mucus and it wasn't very nice or visually appealing, so... and I just want to do that again and again now, because as unenjoyable as it was, at least for like half an hour afterwards, I felt fairly clear, but now I just feel really congested and horrible again, which is just how I'm going to end up living my life for the next few weeks. I can already feel it. I'm going to look for like techniques, I'm tempted to just like wrap myself up in like quilts and stuff and just really try and cook it out of me, because it's currently Thursday and I've got an exam on Monday. And I really want to be better for Monday, but at the same time, this just doesn't seem to be going. I've had it now for about a week. I've had it over a week. It would be about 10 days now, and it started as just a chest thing, and it's staying as just a chest thing, but it seems to be getting worse, not better, which is a bit of a pain, because I'd really like it gone, but hopefully it will go in the next few days. It'll start clearing up. I'm going to start... I've been blowing my nose all the time and stuff like that, but I'm going to try and start actively trying to fight it a little bit better. And just giving my body a helping hand. I've been drinking an obscenely large amount, but apparently that's not been enough. I'm guessing I'm just ending up wildly dehydrated no matter how much I drink, because I always have a sore throat. My throat's always feeling dry, despite the fact of how I'm drinking glass after glass. I must be drinking about 4 or 5 litres of water a day minimum, which I feel as though is a pretty big increase, because I think the average you're supposed to drink is about 2 to 3 litres, and I'm currently at 4 to 5 probably. So hopefully that's doing something. I know that the immune system does release water into the battlefield when it's fighting bacteria, and things such as that, so hopefully that's a sign of progress. Hopefully all this water is going to good use, and hopefully it's really helping turn the tide of battle, and hopefully... I think it's the dendritic cells. Hopefully they'll really get on it soon and, really sort everything out. So. But anyway, that's going to be enough of the illness talk. You don't need to know how ill I am forever. My phone, I've got 2 phones at the moment. I got the Samsung Play. Oh, sorry, not the Samsung. The Motorola Play 3 or something like that. And the Samsung Galaxy S5, because the S5 is from my mum, because she got a new phone. She got the Samsung S7 in rose gold Edge, which is it's the worst thing ever, because my dream phone is literally the S7 Edge in rose gold. But it's the way the cookie crumbles. But I've got the Samsung S5 because it's a genuinely better phone than the Moto G3 Play. I think that's actually what it is, the Moto G3 Play. But the issue is it's locked, the carrier. And it still hasn't been unlocked, and she's paid for it to get unlocked, and I might need to check and see if she's got a code, because it's asking for SIM network unlock PIN, so hopefully I'll be able to get that when she gets home. But we've paid the money already, and it says it takes somewhere between 5 to 10 days, but maybe they also just sent her the code and I can just enter that in and unlock it immediately. I was having issues with my phone, as you probably know from yesterday's podcast. I was texting one of my friends and they were getting the text and texting back. And I didn't know that they were texting back, so I kept ramping up my aggression, because, that's what normal people do. And they would, I didn't know that they weren't responding, so I will now read to you the texts. Right, so, let me just quickly turn my phone on. I will read them to you in order, so like from the ones that I sent to then the ones that that she sent. And you can kind of splice them together and work out where they should be, because it's fairly obvious. So, 8:37 in the morning, I receive a text saying, "I need to call you." Then, at 10:32, I send a text, "Oh my god, I'm an actual fucking idiot. I thought it was in the afternoon. What time does it finish? Because I'll meet you after if you want." That was in relation to the doctor's appointment, because she was... Sorry, no, that wasn't in relation to the doctor's appointment. That was in relation to intervention. I don't know about the doctor's appointment at the time that I'm sending these texts. Then an hour and a half later, at 12, I send, "Hey, question mark." And then at 12:46, I send another text which is I really wanted to meet up with you today, but obviously you don't. You obviously don't for whatever reason. If you want to meet up on another day, let me know, because it's cool. But if not, then that's cool, I guess. Then today, at 1 minutes past 5, of course this text was supposed to be sent at the time that the I need to call you sent, but my phone didn't receive it. I got a text saying it's important. I then got a text saying it's 9:30 till 12:30, in response to me asking what time does it finish, and then this was and then all of these were in response to the fairly lengthy text that I sent. She said, for whatever reason, question mark, I'm at the doctor's, question mark. I already told you like twice, you called me 3 times during the appointment, and then probably won't speak until Monday. Lots of revision to catch up on, and revising in a group is just too distracting for me because I have zero self-control. And I got all of those today at 5 o'clock because I restarted my phone, and they all came through, and now I'm really paranoid that the number texts are coming through, but and I then responded to that with, oh my god, my phone is fucking useless, I just got all the texts you sent me yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, today's Thursday and that was on Wednesday, so yeah. But yeah, no, and then I haven't got a text back, and I can't tell if it's because she's read it and she doesn't text back, or if my phone's screwing me around again, because it seems to enjoy doing that for some reason. But yeah, no, so there's the little, like, the actual transcripts of the text that was sent, and now you know what happened, and I still feel like a total idiot, and I just want to meet up with her in person, just so I can apologise in person, because I feel like it would actually be meaningful. Because I apologised over text, and over call, but I don't feel like doing that is as meaningful. I don't actually feel like it's actually apologising. It's more just like saying, here's a temporary apology until we again meet in person and I can actually apologise. So that's what I will do when I see her again on Monday, because, yeah, like she said, she's got lots of revision to do, and she doesn't think she revises very well in a group, which is fair enough. I can get why she would get that, but at the same time it's kind of annoying for me because I revise much better in a group, and it's not because I revise better in a group, it's because I'm actually more likely to revise if I'm in a group. Like, for example, when I was revising with her on Sunday, last week on Sunday, so that would have been like, I don't know, like the 20-something. I would love to open up the calendar, but the calendar isn't working in front of me quickly. Calendar. Google Calendar. It would have been on Sunday the 28th. Yeah, Sunday the 28th. What was I going to say about Sunday the 28th? Yeah, that's when I met up with her and went, and we just, we met up at 8 and we revised until about 10:30, ish. Sitting in McDonald's in Birkenhead, because it's classy. And yeah, that's how that went, and I actually did a fair bit of revision, which was nice, but hey. In fact, what exams do I have? That's a great question. In fact, I'm not going to talk about this on stream, or not on stream, on the podcast, because you probably don't care. It's more supposed to be about life stories than it is about what's actually happening. You could find out just as easily as I could, but you probably don't care. So, well, there's nobody listening anyway, so I don't know why I'm so concerned as to the quality of the podcast, but at the same time, there could be one day, and I need to make sure that I have a decent backlog of products. Of course it won't be as good as the hypothetical podcast that people listen to, but it still needs to be bearable. At least this is not bearable. This is not passable as bearable, but, you know, if it was, that'd be great, so. But anyway, what have I done today? Not much today, actually, to be honest. I've done some history revision for the Cold War, because the Cold War is the first exam I have when I get back. And then other than that, we went to the tip, emptied some stuff out. Should I further explain oh, actually, I know what I'll do. I'll talk a little bit about the plans for the shed, and another project that I want to start working on, right? So, plans for the shed is just to empty it all out when I finish. In the week that I finish, ideally I'd like to try and get the entire thing emptied out. I will then get some caulk, and fill in all the holes and patches and stuff, because there's some holes in the floor. I then want to just get some fairly cheap tile flooring, put all of that in, just to give it a nice surface, because otherwise I'll get a bunch of splinters from walking around on it. And ideally, if I can find some cheap wallpaper, I'd put that in. It doesn't need to be coloured, it just literally needs to be paper pretty much, but wallpaper, so it's not actual paper, it's actually kind of nice quality. If not, then I will just, I don't know, I'll sand it down or something. But that would be ideal, because otherwise I'll probably end up getting splinters on the wall, or I'll just cover the wall in like felt or something, I don't know. Just get like a bunch of those, like, I could just turn it into a massive green room, actually. I suppose I could just get like 4 giant green room cloths, and just put them on all of the walls, and then I suppose that would have the same effect, except it would also make recording in it much easier. And then what else do I want to do with it? Oh yeah, so that's what we want to do with the room. What I'm going to probably try and do is put a desk in there, and I'll probably move my smaller monitor, the tiny Dell one, in there. When I get some cables, I want to get some pretty long cable extensions, about 20 meters. And the reasoning behind that is because I want to have essentially I want to have my computer duplicated in there, so I can be in there. I would literally just need like a USB hub that's like fairly long and a long DVI cable, and that would be it. Or HDMI cable, either one would work. And that would be it, yeah. And then I could have a little system in there. The reason that I want a little system in there is because not only would it make it easier if I could like have some stuff in there, because I'm going to be recording in there and stuff, so it's nice to be able to have some stuff up, and it also makes recording. If I was to hypothetically record the podcast in there, it'd make it easier because I'd be able to have Sony Vegas open so I could see the recording going. But it also just it makes stuff like file transfer easier. That, and also if there's ever for any reason that I want to like game in there or something, it means that I still can. It wouldn't be particularly enjoyable because it would be on a tiny resolution display, but I could still do it, which is kind of the point. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for the shed. And then the other project that I'm looking at doing is I have this weird obsession with fish keeping, where I just really like fish. I don't know why. And let me just actually open up a few pages, because it'll make talking about this topic a whole lot easier if I can have the stuff that I want to talk about in front of me. So, what did I buy before? I bought some, give me a second. I bought some sodium, wait no, where is it? Purchase history. Sodium thiosulfate, sodium thiosulfate. Which is basically a dechlorinator. It just dechlorinates tap water. The amount that I've bought should be capable of dechlorinating up to 8,000 gallons, depending on the concentration of chlorine in the water, which is important because you don't want chlorine in an aquarium. Anyone who's even vaguely into aquariums can tell you that you don't want chlorine in aquariums because you'll kill your fish. But then that's not really it. That's just like some of the prep that I need for the project. The actual project itself is I want to get, I have no idea how to pronounce this species, but it's like Lamprolongus multifascius. Basically, they're from Lake Tanganyika. I think that's like one of the largest freshwater lakes in Africa. And what they are is they're essentially small shell-dwelling cichlids. For those of you who know what cichlids are, I think they grow to like 4 or 5 inches in length, so they're not particularly huge. But I want to establish a small colony of them because, like I said, they're shell dwellers, so if you give them a bunch of sand and a bunch of shells, they will decorate the aquarium for you, essentially. They will move the shells around into different places because they like to like bury them, and you know, they make the tank actually, because the thing that I'm always trying to achieve is I want it to actually look like a natural environment, but it's rather hard to actually manufacture a natural environment being a human being, because I'm just creating what I think a natural environment would look like. I'm not actually creating what one is really like. And I can get fairly close to it, but I feel as though the best way to try and recreate a natural environment would be to have the fish to do it, for me. Because of course they're going to be infinitely better at it than me, because it's what they do. So yeah, no, they're like, the postage for them is £15, but then once I pay the postage I can get as many as I want, but they're £9.99 each, so I'll probably get about 5, and just fingers crossed I get a male and a female. 5 is fairly good odds. And the reason you want a male and a female is because they breed fairly quickly. So having like 5 of them would be pretty useful, because then I'd be able to establish a colony faster, and then yeah. And to house them, I'm going to be buying I think it's called the Diverser. Yeah, the Diverser is the name of the company that makes it. At least I think it's a company that makes it. It's a 300-litre aquarium. But it will literally just be the glass tank. So with this, I will have to buy a canister filter and a heater, and a lid, because it doesn't even have a lid with it. And once I get that, so basically for about £300 I'll be able to have a 300-litre aquarium with shell dweller fish, sandy substrate, shells, and a canister filter and a heater. Which will be pretty cool, because I've always admired those fish, and I think it'd be quite cool to have some. That, and also it's just a giant tank. But you may be thinking, but wait a minute, you haven't mentioned a stand, because evidently if it doesn't come with a lid, there's no way in hell it's going to come with a stand. When I finish as well, I'm also going to be going to, I'm going to start saving up some money now. I need about £40–50. Sorry, about £60, about £20 for raw materials, and about £40 to buy a drill. And then I'm going to make my own stand. It needs to be able to support, I think in total, about 400–500 kilograms, but you'd of course want to target much higher, because you don't want to have any risk of it breaking. But buying structural grade timber isn't particularly expensive. I can just buy some from B&Q or Homebase, probably B&Q, and get that all sorted and rocking and rolling. It won't look very nice to begin with, because I'm not really going to do anything to coat it. I'm just going to have the actual like structural thing, and then eventually I'll put some panels on the side, whether it be like just some finishing timber on the side, and I might stain it, but I haven't decided that yet. The main goal at the moment is just to get the stand and tank. It's not to actually make it look particularly nice. I just want to get the fish in and get them in with their substrate and shells. That's the main goal, because the thing that I want is the fish. The stand is secondary. The stand of course needs to look nice, because otherwise it won't complete the look, but the fish take a few weeks, or at least I think it takes them like 3 or 4 weeks to actually set the tank out how they want it anyway. So I'll have 3 or 4 weeks to get it finished anyway, before the entire tank and everything's finished. But the way that I'm going to get enough room in my room to do this is I'm going to have to move out my wardrobe. I don't like the wardrobe anyway, so I'm going to try and chuck it, but to do that I need to be able to get rid of everything in it. You may be thinking, don't you have clothes in it? I have a chest of drawers that's pretty much empty, so I could just fill all my clothes up in there, and then just throw away everything in it. All that's really in it is 2 old PCs mainly, and a black piece of fabric, which was used as a backdrop a little while ago. So once all that's gone, I can either get rid of it or try and sell it. Probably get rid of it, but if anybody wants to sell it, then I'll let them sell it, but it'll just be moved into the porch. And then I measured it out before, and the area it will leave me with will be ideal for fitting in a 300-litre tank, which will be lovely, because it'll mean that I have a 300-litre aquarium in one corner of the room, a 180-litre aquarium in another corner of the room, and a 25-litre aquarium in the other corner of the room. It's basically 3 corners of my room, basically wherever I'm not sleeping. In any of the corners that I'm not sleeping in, there's an aquarium, which is pretty cool. I'd probably try and get rid of the 24-litre eventually, but at the same time it's got fish in it, and I don't really have any way to rehome fish, and I can't be bothered going to my fish store to try and rehome them, so I'll probably just keep them, keep feeding them, and they're fairly old now anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if they had to pop like clogs soon, but at the same time I'm not going to encourage them to die, because I don't really like the idea of encouraging a fish's death. I'd rather just let them live their life naturally, and then when they go, they go. And then when that happens, I just don't buy anymore. So that is gouramis, because they're gouramis in there, and I have not had a great experience with gouramis, especially the iridovirus. I think it's called the idovirus or something like that. The dwarf gourami iridovirus, I think that's what it is, but it's close enough. If you Google it, you'll find something. I had that, and it killed like 6 fish, so I haven't had a great experience with them. But anyway, what have we spoken about today? We've spoken about my broken phone, we've spoken about fish, we've spoken about the shed project. I think that's pretty much been it. And we've also spoken a little bit about revision and crap like that. I find history to be one of the most fascinating subjects on this planet, to be honest, because I just find it amazing. Just looking back at all of these decisions that were made by these incredibly powerful people, and how they were made and what they were planning on doing with them, and the effects that they had, and the planned effects and the unintentional effects, and all the wrenches that get thrown in the machine that is human society. Just like I was revising the Cold War and just looking at stuff like the U2 crisis is just fascinating, just to think that like an unexpected event that wasn't even supposed to happen had such profound consequences on global stability that it lasted forever. Well, not forever, but it changed the course of the world, because like meetings were cancelled and discussions were stopped, and it's just amazing to see. But that's why I'm probably going to be doing for those of you who are wondering what A levels I'm going to be doing, because of course you'll know that I'm doing my GCSE exams, but for A levels I'm going to be doing physics, history, and probably maths. So that's going to be my A-levels, because I'm not doing 4, because everybody who seems to do 4, most people, most universities just recommend that you do 3, and everyone who does 4 either gets a slightly worse grade in all 4 because of it, or they end up dropping it. There seems to be very few people who successfully do 4 and get A stars or A's in them, so that's just from what I've seen. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But anyway, I think we've reached the 20-minute mark. Let me quickly go and check. It's looking like it, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you or the next podcast. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry that I'm still quite unwell. I'm going to try and go and take care of that now, hopefully, and sound a little bit better when I come back to you again, which will either be tomorrow or at some other point in the future. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.